What's up, everyone? Welcome back to 20,000 Films Under the Sea. I'm your host, DJ, and tonight we are going to give you our spoiler-free review of Borderlands. That's right, the latest live-action video game adaptation. And we have some thoughts. So, grab your guns, grab your other guns, and also grab your guns for those other guns, and strap in. We'll see you there. What's up, everyone? Welcome to 20,000 Films Under the Sea. I'm your host, DJ, and I'm joined by my illustrious co-host, Devin, Brevin the Dude. Say hello to the people, brother.
Illustrious.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll take it. I do got some flowy hair today.
It just means bright. It just means bright.
Yeah. Bright,
I don't know what
flowy
hair
hair.
has to do with anything. How you doing today, brother?
I worked 6 days in a row this week.
That is a week, dude. That's only 7 days out the week. You work 6 out of the 7.
Yeah, and tomorrow's my only day off this week, and I start back up on Sunday.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. They have you working Sundays?
My usual schedule is Sunday through Thursday. I usually have Friday, Saturday off.
Okay, that's not too bad, but still, you know.
Well, I work from home on Sundays, so it's
okay, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I'm working, but I'm here. I'm literally sitting right here working. I'm like,
you're sitting right there. Like, that's where you sit.
Yeah, right here. This is where I sit while I work from home, right here on my computer.
Oh, okay.
Do computer stuff, and I get paid for it. I just watch videos on YouTube and do my reports. That's it.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, brother. Yeah, dude. I've been today has been fucking just uneventful. Besides going to see the film that we're going to be reviewing here in a minute. I did nothing today. I the Coke freestyle machine. I decided to freestyle a little bit. I think that's one of the most exciting things that happened today.
What'd you get?
So I got a cherry Sprite, okay, cherry Sprite, and I mixed it in with the Minute Maid fruit punch. Okay.
Okay, how was it?
It was okay. It wasn't something. It wasn't like revolutionary. Okay. It wasn't like revolutionary. It didn't like explode my taste buds or anything, but it was serviceable. Like it's not, like I genuinely thought I might have just created like an abomination, and I might have to throw it away. But I was sipping on it through the movie. It was pretty good. I tasted the Sprite cherry a lot more than the fruit punch, if I'm going to be honest. So I think the Sprite cherry has like overpowering flavor, but it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah. I usually do a third of the cup of lemonade, and then I just do the rest Sprite.
Okay.
And that's super refreshing.
Have you tried
just regular Sprite and regular lemonade?
Have you tried the Sprite limeade flavor?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Is that so you're saying like just regular Sprite and regular lemonade is better than the limeade?
Yes, because they just use like they have like all those different concentrated syrups that it just cycles through in that machine. So it's like sometimes I feel like I'm just getting syrup because you're not really getting peach Sprite or you know what I mean, or cherry Sprite. It's syrup mixed with the Sprite. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, dude, the fucking theater I go to, dude, 2 of the Coke freestyle machines don't work. There's 3 of them. And I was like, so I go to the first one, no ice. No ice comes out of this one. All right, I move to the second one. I get ice from that one. I tap the screen, all the Coke options are grayed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, fuck. And I go to the third machine, and it works. Like, it has all the options. So then I use that. And then
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, how do you not fix this? This is like the end of the week. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Someone's not doing their job. That's
Yeah. Yeah, you know who else isn't doing their job? Ernell, because he's not here.
that's right. Ernell
He's
is
not
not
here.
doing his job
Ernell
at all.
was slated to be on the show. Supposed to host today's show. Supposed to host.
Yeah.
Supposed to stream and record. I had to do it. He ran into some traffic issues, something with his
Sure.
coworker,
Traffic.
supervisor, alternator
Fake
issue.
news. Fake
Yeah,
news.
something like
I
that.
think
Dude.
this is
I'm
a
pretty
fabricated
sure.
story.
Yeah, I think that fabricated story.
Fabricated.
There's
Fake
some
news.
conspiracy going around about him, purposely sabotaging his workmate's vehicle to escape reviewing the film we're going to review tonight.
Yeah. Some would call him Laughing Ernell.
Well,
Laughing Ernell, laughing to himself because he found a way off the show tonight.
Well,
didn't want to talk about the movie.
Hope you guys at home are laughing with us, because this is 20,000 Films Under the Sea, your choice for all the nerdy pop media news, reviews, and discussions you want each and every week. If you like that, you can head on over to our Discord channel, where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on a podcast and video service near you. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that's cool with us. You can watch us record this show live right here at twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow. I repeat, that's twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow, just like Esco Boo Boo is in chat right now.
Let's go.
If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. Tell them, DJ.
Prime Gaming.
And we would love for you to give that to us to help keep the lights on and cameras rolling. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, hitting subscribe, or by leaving a review on our podcast channel by searching 20,000 Films Under the Sea, or 20K Films, or Films Under the Sea, or Films. And we'll be there waiting for you. Hopefully, if you type films, our podcast shows up. Our YouTube channel. Imagine just type in films.
It did for somebody.
So yeah, we did have a chatter that said movie. They just searched movie podcast, and we were among them.
Yep.
So yeah. Devin. We have some director's commentary. Check out our latest episode of Death Ratio, where we talked about the SAG-AFTRA strike. Voice actors want to get paid, and they should. And we also touch on how
that's not what we talked about.
Huh? It's not?
That's not what. No. We talked about Bungie laying off a bunch of their employees.
Sorry, that was the
that's
week
the
previous.
episode before.
I was looking at the calendar wrong.
No. Yeah,
my fault.
So the last episode we did, we talked about the layoffs at Bungie. Okay. And we also talked about God, what was the other thing we talked about? Now I'm forgetting. Game Informer shutting down.
Oh yeah, Game Informer. Yeah, I totally forgot. It's because I wasn't on the episode. I just forgot. Yes, sorry, my mistake. Latest episode of Death Ratio was about the death of Game Informer. Rest in peace, and all layoffs in the industry that's happening, and industry as a whole. That's going down. So be sure to check that out, please. Also, we want to repeat that Splash Damage, starting next week, is being moved to Wednesday. I don't know if we decided what game we're gonna play Wednesday. Next Wednesday.
I don't think we've decided yet, but that'll be tentative. It will be announced with the rollout of our schedule here. We'll probably be posting the schedule on Sunday.
Yeah, in a few days. So be on the lookout for that. I know a lot of people have been asking us for more of our gameplay streams. So we'll be moving it to Wednesday so we can have a little bit more going on. Because I don't think there's a lot to review in the next coming weeks in terms of film.
Alien
Aliens Romulus
Romulus next week.
next week. Okay. Wait, next week actually?
Yeah.
Oh shit,
Yep.
then we might not have or because we're moving
No,
it.
we
So
will.
yeah,
We will.
yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
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 Also, you can support us by sharing our content around on all your platforms. We are trying to push out more content. We've been more active on social media, TikToks. We've been trying to get you guys more content, and we want you guys to share it with your friends, family, whoever. If they're interested in film, video games, entertainment, whatever, please share it. Because we want to reach more people. We would love to have more people in the Fish fam. Okay. And also rate us 5 stars.
Join our school of fish.
One of us. One of
One
us.
of us. One of us.
I was about to make a joke, but I think that would be too inappropriate.
Trust me, I had a joke sitting in the back of my head the whole time.
Yeah, no, I think we have the same joke. Or a similar.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But we're going into the final cut.
Final cut.
I don't have that.
Slice. Cut.
That was the whole movie. Tonight, for the final cut, we are going through our spoiler-free review of Borderlands. Yes, we're here for you.
Like Snoozerlands.
Okay. Returning to our home planet, Pandora, an infamous bounty hunter forms an unexpected alliance with a ragtag team of misfits. Together, they battle alien monsters and dangerous bandits to uncover one of Pandora's most explosive secrets. This film was released today, actually, August 9th, 2024, directed by Eli Roth. He has directed Hostel, The Green Inferno, and Hemlock Grove. It's also written by Eli Roth and Joe Crombie. Not much is known about Joe Crombie and what they've written, but the music was by Steve Jablonsky, who did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2003 version.
Texas.
And Transformers, the OG Transformers, and Lone Survivor. This movie had a budget of $120 million with a current box office of $1.3 million. So, about 10%. Give or take.
Not even
1%, sorry.
Not 1%. Even 1.
I forgot the zero was there. I didn't even see the zero. No. With a runtime of an hour and 40 minutes. Devin, we have some fun facts. I would like you to read the first fun fact for us, please.
Yeah. Eli Roth originally shot the movie with a planned hard R rating, keeping in the vein of the original game's M rating for mature audiences. The movie was shot in the summer of 2021, and Eli Roth's first director's cut was reportedly finished in early 2022. However, it was shelved for over 2 years due to extreme studio interference while the film was in post-production. Appalled by the film's extreme violence, the studio wanted the film to be marketed as a blockbuster and hired Tim Miller to do extensive reshoots on the project. These reshoots ended up compromising so much of the final movie that Steve Jablonsky had to write an entire new musical score, as the original score by Nathan Barr no longer fit the film.
Wow. And I was going to mention that in my review, because I was like, why? I didn't even realize this was a PG-13 rated movie until I got in it.
Mm-hmm.
So
same. I thought it was going to
be rated R. I think everyone thought, mostly, right? I don't think any of the trailers said it was PG-13. No.
How dumb do you think the studio feels after the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, and the fact that movie is hard R as fuck, and
Well,
is
not that
almost
hard
at
R,
a billion.
not that kind of hard R, but rated R.
Yeah, like rated R, like
Yeah.
hard R rating,
Okay,
like
there.
rated R.
I still don't know if that's
Like,
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, like the epitome of a rated R film. There you go. Like
Yeah,
Deadpool and
yeah,
Wolverine is the
yeah.
epitome
There
of
you
a
go.
rated R, minus nudity, right? Like
Right.
that's the only thing
Yes,
it's
yes.
missing.
It was a almost like perfect rated R film, if I
Yeah,
must say. Like
and
it
it's
implemented that
almost at
really
$1
well.
billion in 2 weeks.
Wait, really, billion? Jesus. I mean, hey, they knocked
It's
it out
at
of the park.
900 million. It's at 900 million right now.
Ooh, crispy.
And
In
it's
that
a
way,
Disney movie.
isn't it at the same? Isn't it the same budget? Right?
No, the budget was like 400 million.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
But still,
there's a lot of famous people in that movie.
500 million profit is pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna read our second fun fact here. Oren Uzel, Sam Levinson, Tony. Why is everyone's last name crazy? Ritten Mayer, Jewel Taylor, Zach Olkowitz, Chris Bremner, and Aaron Berg were listed in the WGA's directory for writing additional material to the movie's screenplay. Craig Mazin, who did Chernobyl and The Last of Us TV series, is accredited for writing the original screenplay for the film, but later removed his name from the project and was replaced by Joe Crombie. It was later found that Joe Crombie was actually an alias name provided after Mazin's replacement writer had also asked to not put their name attached to the film after tensions rose further with studio execs and more reshoots were needed. This is a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I went in this blind as a fucking bat, okay? I saw the occasional trailer, barely, but, because Borderlands is not, I'm not a huge fan, so I just kind of, took a step back from all any media or anything related to it. I saw, like, maybe one review before, like, not a full review. I just saw, like, someone's personal thoughts on Twitter about the film. Like, I had no idea all this shit was going on. And it explains a lot, which we will get into. So, without further ado, let's get into our spoiler-free review. That rhymed. Hit the like button, subscribe for that one. Rate us 5 stars for that one.
Yeah.
Devin, I want you to open up the floor because I feel like, you don't have much to say, but what you have to say will probably hit the nail, be on the nose of what most of us are thinking who saw this film. Devin, would you like to give us your thoughts on the Borderlands movie?
All right. I am extremely biased because I do like the Borderlands games, and I've played every single Borderlands game that's ever come out. In like multiple times, I've spent hundreds of hours in these games. When Borderlands 3 came out, me and my friends literally took off work and stayed up for like fucking got 48 hours straight and Golden Path, the main story of Borderlands 3. We played the whole thing front to back. Like big fan right here. Like, I know all the characters, I know the plot of the first game. First two things I want to put out there. This is supposed to be an adaptation of the first Borderlands game, the very first one with the vault on Pandora. The very first mistake they did, Tina and Krieg are characters from Borderlands 2, have nothing to do with the first Borderlands story. So I'm just putting that out there right away. Nothing to do. Krieg was a DLC character, not even a main character, not even part of the story.
And this was revealed in trailers before we even saw the movie, right? So this is not spoiler.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not a spoiler.
This is not a spoiler. So. Yeah, literally on the poster.
So already off on the wrong foot already for you.
Already. 100%. This movie has been on the wrong fucking foot with me forever. When I heard the idea that they're making a Borderlands movie, I just went, okay. And then I saw the fucking casting and I was the only person that they casted in this movie that made fucking sense for the character in the game. Actually, there's two castings.
I think. Yeah.
The guy who played Marcus, God, what's his fucking name?
Is it
Marcus, the gun vendor?
Yeah, but
He's
but
is
he in other movies? Because I
Benjamin
feel like
Byron Davis.
okay, yeah.
That guy. Yes, he's in a lot of stuff. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy
I
Volume 3.
thought he was
He's in
a
Ant-Man
David
and the
Harbour
Wasp.
for like half a second when I saw him.
Yeah, I mean David Harbour probably could have done a good job too.
Yeah.
But and he also voices Dutch in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, yeah, shout out
So
to him.
this is a very accredited person.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, definitely like probably the best casting they had in this goddamn movie, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, he DJ Flight in chat. He fit Marcus perfect. Vault Hunter, that's a flat off infinity pistol. Yes, I will always recognize that gun.
Yeah,
that.
And who's the other one you were thinking of?
I thought Jack Black did a good job as Claptrap, but you can tell they just modulated his voice to make it sound like Claptrap. But
yeah,
again,
he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, and the Claptrap writing was good for Claptrap. Like he was quirky, he was funny. You know, they made the reference to stairs, how they're his worst enemy, and he can't climb stairs. That is something that gets brought up in the games all the time because he gets around on a little wheel. You know, they treat the robot like shit constantly, which is exactly what it's like in the game. And now. We're gonna get back.
Get into it, brother. Ready? Cut it open.
All right. Why the fuck is Roland 5'5"? Like Roland is supposed to be like a hulking 6'6" motherfucker. Like he's supposed to be an elite soldier. He is supposed to be stoic. Like, and you get Kevin Hart to play him. Kevin Hart, like one of the least serious actors in all of Hollywood. And you can never take seriously ever. Like, come on. Also, like Kate Blanchett, bless her fucking heart. I loved her in Thor Ragnarok as Hela. She was great in Lord of the Rings. And she's a great actress. But did she just take this fucking movie to just like for a paycheck? Because she's like twice the age that Lilith is supposed to be in the game, for one. They put so much goddamn makeup on her. It looked like I could.
Yeah, dude, I did not wipe even, I almost didn't recognize her.
One, like, oh my god,
it looked like CGI.
Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. It's like it felt like nobody wanted to be on this movie. Like obviously this had so many reshoots and went through so much trouble because the writing was fucking dog shit. They changed the story. They didn't even have Brick, who's like the big like bruiser dude from the first game. He's not even in it. They didn't have fucking Mordecai, who was like the sniper hunter from the first game, who has a bird that's like named Eagly, who's like, oh wait, no, it's not Eagly. That's a different name. Oh my, I'm forgetting the bird's name.
Not a real fan, dude. You're slipping.
I know this is bad. I think it's Talon. Talon. Yeah. Like that, like if they had a Brick, they could have just had Dave Bautista be Brick. Like, come on, it would have been perfect. Like Dave Bautista as Brick would have made so much fucking yeah, DJ's calling me out on Eagly. That is John Cena's bird. That's Peacemaker. But yeah, they could have had Dave Bautista be Brick, and for God, who would have been good casting for Mordecai? Honestly, the actor that plays Pyro in Deadpool, he would have been perfect.
Oh yeah, that would have
been perfect.
Yeah,
he would have been perfect. I'm spacing on his name, but he would have been perfect to be Mordecai in actuality. But yeah, I mean, there's how you know it's going to be bad already. Two of the most important characters of the game aren't even in the game, which is just solely
and the characters
upsetting.
that are in the film from the game are not done justice.
No, not at all. And you have two characters from the second part of the game. Tina's not even a playable character, for one, by the way. She's not. She is a character, but she is an NPC that gives you quests. That is the extent of Tina in Borderlands 2. Granted, she has good writing in the game and good dialogue. She's not a playable character. There's 4 completely other separate characters that you play as in Borderlands 2 as well. Now, Lilith is a bounty hunter in this, and she's not a bounty hunter in the first game. She is a vault hunter. She is a vault hunter, through and through. And they keep saying she's not the vault hunter in this movie, which already fucking bothered me. Now I want to touch on the whole this being a PG-13 and not an R-rated movie. This is a rated M for mature game with lots of blood and lots of gore and lots of curse words. And this movie felt like it was fucking made for TV. Okay. The CGI was horrendous. The props, like some of the vehicles, all that stuff looked so fake. It's like obviously like 80% of their budget was spent on the cast of this movie, and the rest of the budget was spent on production and marketing. They probably spent more marketing on this movie than they did on the actual set production, in my opinion. They did the Thresher Maw, which was the monster that, you know, they drive through that they show in the fucking trailer. They showed that part in the trailer, which I don't know why. But they did a good job on the design of that. They did a good job on the design of the Skags, but there should have been more like interaction with creatures in the actual movie, because you fucking fight a lot of monsters, a lot of different variations, a lot of different kinds in the game. And they didn't really show any of that, to tell you the truth. Yeah, DJ Flight in chat says the CGI was super obvious. Yeah, and dude, it's like I have a problem with like properties that are supposed to be ultra violent, right? And especially with like Borderlands is about a bazillion guns. That is their catchphrase for the game. A bazillion guns. It is the first like looter shooter that you team up with you to 3 of your friends and you play through with the storyline. You do bosses, you do dungeons, you beat the campaign. There's, you know, end game content, stuff like that. And they changed Tina's whole history and story. Like 100% changed, you know, Tiny Tina's whole story from the game to adapt it to this, which was a bad taste in my mouth. 100%. I can't say why, because it would just be a spoiler, you know. And I'm so mad at the vault stuff in this, because the whole thing is like, we got to get to the vault. We got to get to the vault. And it was such a fucking half-assed done. It's like, it looks cool, and they show it in the trailer too. And that's it. That's it.
It's very anticlimactic.
100%. It's supposed to have a huge like monster boss fight with all this other shit going on. And they just totally washed it all under the rug, dude. And it's like, oh yay, happy days, you know. It's just the action, there was no stakes to this movie. The dialogue was horrendous. They changed the story of all the characters. They added characters to the story that weren't supposed to be in the story. The best part of this whole fucking movie was when Nox got zapped.
That was funny.
That's the best part of the whole movie. That was
the only unexpected thing that happened. That was the only unexpected thing. And I was like, oh, shit.
The only good thing was that. That was the only good thing in this movie.
Only thing that made me react.
I thought I was going to go into this movie. I was like, oh, you know, the acting's probably going to suck. The writing's probably going to suck. Maybe the creature design will be really cool. And maybe the set pieces and stuff will be really cool, though. That was like kind of my headspace, right? Like, that's what I was hoping, to at least get this at some sort of like below mid to mid movie, right? Because I already knew it wasn't going to be going good, like at all into this, and there's no blood. Like, how do you show people get shot in the head and they just fall? You know, it's like what is this? The fucking Hunger Games? Am I watching a different version of the Hunger Games again? Like, you know, the movies where fucking kids are getting sliced up and chopped and shot and there's no blood. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching like fucking Hunger Games does Mad Max. That's what this fucking movie feels like. You know, this, like, I'm gonna say it right now, this movie fucking sucked. This movie's dog shit. Like, this movie is terrible.
Shout out to our boy Larry,
I'm
man.
pissed.
Shout out to our boy Larry.
Dog
This
shit.
movie is
Hashtag dog
shit.
Put it in a fucking paper bag, put it on Trump's porch, and light it on fire. This movie sucks.
Devin, I'm sorry to cut you up, but can you disconnect and reconnect? You've been like very pixely this whole time, and I didn't want to like ruin your review.
Yeah.
Just to say, yeah, just disconnect, reconnect, refile. Yeah.
You're
Nope.
so cool.
It's so cool.
I like ran out of breath because I ranted so hard.
I think it's my end. I don't know why you coming up as pixely, but we'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah, everything looks perfect on my end.
Yeah, it's weird. And I don't have any connection issues right now, so it's just, I guess it's just Discord.
Discord.
So, yeah.
Oh, well, now I'm framey now.
Yeah, a little bit, slightly.
I might have to restart Discord altogether.
Yeah, try that. I'll keep everyone busy here. So I'll wait for you to get back and then I'll start my review. But I'll
I'll be back
recap
shortly.
what you said. Yeah, like what Devin said is definitely apparent. It's, as someone who's not even a fan of these games, I remember the commercials for Borderlands 1 and 2. And their whole slogan, Devin's right, is bazillion guns. It's a bazillion guns. It's ultra violent, okay? It's absurd. Humor's over the top. It doesn't take itself seriously whatsoever, right? That's the point of these games. And I did not get any of that watching the film. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
But yeah. I guess I'll give my thoughts. Again, I went into this blind. Maybe do I need a reset? Maybe I need a reset. Eh?
Is it better?
It still seems, it's still very pixely on my end. I'm not sure why. Maybe I need to disconnect. Let me try that real fast. Sorry, folks. It's not worth it. Just keep going.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'll start on my review. I'm not a big fan of Borderlands. I think I've come on record to say that I dislike Borderlands 2, and that is the best one in the series. According to many people. And I just, it just, the style and the aesthetic choices and the world was just not for me, right? But I've always been interested. There's always interesting and entertaining parts of the Borderlands world. Larry, we're getting into it. So
Larry, you missed it.
He missed it.
I literally quoted you. I quoted you.
Devin quote said, it was dog shit. Hashtag dog shit. Shout out to you, Larry. So going into this film blind, besides seeing one headline about this film before seeing it for early review, of the early reviews, I was like, okay, I'm going to temper my expectations And, maybe it's just an okay movie and not a bad movie or a really good movie, right? I'll just temper my expectations going in. And as a non-knower of the Borderlands lore and the, greater world of Borderlands, I just assumed that whatever was shown on screen is how it's supposed to be within the game. Immediately, as we're going through, like, watching it for the first time, I am sitting there and I'm like, I don't think this is right. It doesn't feel right. It comes off with Cate Blanchett just narrating this exposition onto the audience to explain to them what world we're on, why the world is like the way it is, and this and that. And already I'm like, if you have to explain this shit to me and why I should care, I don't think this is effective. I don't think you're going to make me care by explaining what the heck's going on. The only franchise to be able to do that is Star Wars, and that the scrolling wall of text. That's it. And that barely gets that done. You know what I'm saying? So, if this film was not tied to the video game, let's say the video game didn't exist and this world was just created for this movie, I would understand. But we know where it comes from. As gamers, we know where this comes from. Already this film is like, it's not selling me. And then we see Tina, and we see Roland, we see Kevin Hart as Roland, and without knowing who Roland is supposed to be, I thought Kevin did an all right job. He's just playing himself. Kevin Hart just playing himself, really. But he plays a little bit more, I guess, subtly. He plays himself a little more subtly than his other roles, if that makes sense. But the plot is so shallow and predictable. It's basically, it's like a plot to a Disney movie, right? And not in a good way. Especially when this film is leaning on its PG-13 rating. And it's barely PG. Like, what makes it PG-13 is that they swear. And they say bitch. And ass. And shit. And that's it, basically. There's no blood. There's no chaos. Someone gets shot, there's some spark, and they fall down. Some of the, like, the cinematography here, like DJ Flight said in chat earlier, the CGI is very noticeable. And it takes you out of the film, right? And it's not good CGI either. And then there's CGI incorporated into the action scenes. And the action scenes, the action choreography sucks. You can tell whoever had to edit this film had to cut it up so much to make it exciting. That first fight we see between Lilith and Krieg. I want you, I don't even, like, we're not going to see this movie again, so I'm not going to ask you to count how many cuts were in that one action scene alone. But there was more than 5. Like, in rapid succession. Cutting from
I'd say, like,
back and forth.
At least a dozen.
A dozen. So whoever had to edit this knew that all these action scenes were not it. They were not hitting. Did you guys do fun? Yeah, we did. Or no? We have it. We got it, dude. Watch the show, dude. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Jesus Christ. Fucking fabricates a way to be off the show
yeah,
tonight.
Dude, now he's trying to micromanage from the Twitch chat, dude.
It. We should just ban him from Twitch. Like, actually, here, real quick.
Okay, but
I'm warning him.
My review comes from without knowing the context of what we just learned from the fun facts we stated earlier. The editing. The editing was so like, you could tell the editor was trying their damnedest to make it exciting. Like, there was more than a dozen cuts for that one fight scene which I think maybe those beginning scenes, like the first half of the movie, were the reshoots, right? I'm pretty sure. Because that's what it felt like. Right, Devin? Like, that's what it felt like. Because towards the end, like the last half of the film, the action scenes weren't that egregious. Like, especially that scene with all the boxes. Like, I felt like that was the one action scene that was okay. Like, if this was rated R, and we actually saw some blood or like some gore that we would typically see in a Borderlands game, I think that action scene would have been really nice with some blood and gut. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, why isn't this a rated R action scene? Why isn't this like the like that last fight in Deadpool versus Wolverine? You know what I mean? Like with all the gang like just rushing like it could have been like that. But it doesn't hit because it's PG-13. And this, I said this to a friend when I was describing this film after I went to see it. This movie has a feeling that is like, remember as a kid, I think everyone has this one movie. When they were a kid, they loved the shit out of it. But when they were older, you came back to watch it and you realized how bad it was. And then that time you watch it again is the last time you will ever watch it again. Because you only watched it out of nostalgia. And you realize how bad it was. I feel like this is that movie. This is that movie for some kid right now. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if I was a kid and I didn't know Borderlands, which there are kids born, in the last few years that don't know. I feel like they would love this movie. Taking like an 8-year-old to see this movie, they would love it. You know what I mean? Because they have no clue. But us as adults and knowing where this IP is from, this is offensive. It offends me. Just as a live action video game adaptation, it offends me. And I'm sure it offends you even more as a fan of Borderlands. Devin, what do you have to say?
In our year 2024, where video game live action adaptions have been doing nothing but progressing, we got The Last of Us, we got Fallout,
Gran Turismo,
Halo, which was mid as fuck, Gran Turismo, Twisted Metal, Sonic, fucking, I mean, this isn't live action, but it is a video game movie, but like the Mario movie was good, this movie made it feel like we were regressing. Like this felt like the Doom movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It felt like
but the Doom movie's better.
Yeah,
the
dude,
Resident Evil movie's better.
This felt like the video game movies of yore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this was a flashback to those types of movies, and I never thought we'd see another one like this. I never thought after they hit that was, that started the train, Arcane, right? And then we get The Last of Us, we get Cyberpunk Edge Runners, we get the Sonic movie, we get the Mario movie, Gran Turismo, the Fallout show. I thought we would never see another movie like this. Boy, was I so fucking wrong. Because this movie, even though it has an hour and 40-minute runtime, and I think that is the only merit I can give it, that it was short enough, I still felt like I wasted my time, because it feels like a waste of my time, because even though this is a star-studded cast, I felt like the writing they had to do, the actors had to do, either they either didn't want to work with it or they had to do extra work to like play up their character, which they did okay. I feel like all the actors did okay. I don't think I saw Krieg's mouth move. I don't think you're like ever like.
So the funny
I think
thing
he's
about
full on
Krieg,
voiceover.
Yeah, I think he's full on voiceover too, and I'm pretty sure those lines were like 100% ripped from Borderlands 2. because
Really?
those are all his lines from Borderlands 2. Like he literally says all of those things. Like
Wow.
everything. Yeah. Like uh Flight asked us in our Discord, which you can do if you're a subscriber and you're listening to this and you're listening to shows or have questions for upcoming shows. You can submit your questions in our Discord through the subscribers only channel. Flight says, we've seen great video game adaptations, but do you think after this will this affect future video game adaptations? I think the effect that this has is after the aforementioned IPs and properties we've named, like Last of Us, Fallout, and so on, and then seeing Halo being canceled as of late, and this flopping tremendously day one. I mean, it's got a 1.3 million box office.
I think it has 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I think it's at like a 3% now. I think
Oh,
it's 3%.
yeah. Initially, it had a 0. On
Yeah.
early review, it was 0.
Yeah. That's when there was only like 10 reviews then.
But
But
3% still.
if anything, I think this shows that whoever is making these video game adaptions, whether it be TV show or movie, is that they need to stick to source material and actually give a shit about the storyline that they are adapting, because they changed too much shit and did it very terribly for people to give a fuck, right? And you need to keep it core to the value of that IP. Look, Disney knew to do that with Deadpool. Disney doesn't make rated R movies, but they said, fuck it, Deadpool's rated R, it's going to stay rated R. Look how that turned out. It's not a video game adaptation, but it is as close as it can be. It's a freaking comic book adaptation, right?
Right.
Like they stayed true to the character and how that source material develops. Granted, it is its own story, but it's still the character at the core values. They changed too much of these characters, right, to make me care about this as a fan of Borderlands. So I think this specifically is going to show that that they need to care and they need to make sure that they research their IP and craft that story and cater to that story.
And knowing now with the context of the fun facts we read about the reshoots, that it originally was rated R, and that they switched up writers twice. Not twice, but like two of the one writer who was responsible for one of the best video game live action shows, The Last of Us, was had to leave the writing room, and then the next writer didn't even want their name associated with it after the reshoot. So I don't understand why this studio wanted their hands on this so bad. Why? What metric? I want to know. I wish I was a fly on the wall. I want to know what metric they found, what research they did to basically say to Eli Roth and the rest of the production to be like, hey, guys, rated R, it's not going to make us any money. So let's go for PG-13. And we want you to rewrite the entire movie, reshoot the entire movie that you've already worked on for the last 2 years. And then we'll ship it out in 2024. I want to know whose idea or why. Because I at this point, I want to see Eli Roth's director's cut. I want to see his director's cut of this. I want to see the original. Because, like, what we got is abysmal. Like, I'm pretty sure, did this even have a media tour? I don't think any of the actors wanted to be a part of this shit. Like, I don't even, like, Kevin Hart, the most unserious actor, he didn't even want to say that he's doing this. He just had he was in it. All these actors were just in it. They're like, I just collected the check. So,
yeah.
It's the cinematography was bad. The payoff with the story was not cool. I was in the theater with one other person. He's like a middle-aged man. Bald middle-aged man. Don't know his name. He was sitting 2 rows above me. After the vault scene, he walked out. Not to go take a piss. He simply walked out of the movie. I saw him. He didn't even want to see it wrap up because he knew the film was wrapping up. That's how predictable it was. And he said, I'm not spending another 10 minutes here.
He said that out loud?
No, I'm just assuming because he just walked out like his body language. I could tell he felt like he wasted his fucking time. And I felt like I wasted my fucking time. But like Eli Roth, that's Eli Roth's director's cut of Borderlands. I want to see that. That's the only director's cut I want to see, to be honest.
Yeah, I want to see the original version of this movie. How much you want to bet Lionsgate is fucking kicking themselves in the dick right now? Especially,
are they the? I thought they were just distributing it. I don't know if they had any ties.
Yeah, no, they were their production company.
Okay.
That backed it with Gearbox and 2K.
Yikes.
But like, if why did they get so involved and want to make this PG-13? It makes no fucking sense to me because Lionsgate is responsible for some of the most graphic like horror movies that we've ever gotten.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know what like I said, I don't know what meeting they had. I don't know what shareholder meeting, what metric they found, what research they found that this would be a good idea. Because the record shows every time a video game adaptation, live action video game adaptation strays away from its original source material, it turns out bad. Like the only time that straying away from source material ever worked, I think, was Gran Turismo, and that doesn't even have a fucking story. They made that shit up, or they based it off of a real life story, but they tweaked it to make it more entertaining, right? More climactic, which was
minus the person dying when they're
controversy.
Not supposed to.
You know what I mean? There's a controversial change.
That was kind of shitty.
It was kind of shitty, but like it still worked for the film. Like I'm gonna say that in that respect, right? I'm not gonna say like if it was right or wrong to do that. I agree with you. I think it's wrong, but I'm saying like it worked for the film, right? I think that's the only case that it worked. And even then, it's still a touchy subject. Like The Last of Us. Like, there are scenes that are, like, ripped straight from the game. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Let me look at where's my mouse? Let me look at
They even changed a few things for the show. But the thing is they did it well, and they did it in a way that made sense.
Yeah, Craig Mazin. Craig Mazin, right? I'm pretty sure he rewrote some of Neil Druckmann's stuff that will work for TV. Because he knows. And I'm pretty sure he did the same for this film, but the studio just wanted those rewrites. They wanted the reshoots. I just don't understand why. I don't know if it's like, if there's foul play. I don't know if they wanted this movie to fail or something. Because they're just losing money regardless. And Xander posed this question in one of our chats. And I wanted to pose it to you and everyone here. You and me. Me to you, Devin. Is this movie better or worse than Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon? And be honest. It's hard, isn't it?
It's very hard. Like, honestly, they're very fucking close to each other. Very fucking close. And I think this is worse than Rebel Moon.
Wow.
But better than Madam Web.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think this is slightly better. Only slightly better than Rebel Moon. Only because it's short. And two, I like this world a little bit better. It's a little bit more colorful. Like it's more tolerable to look at, if that makes sense. Like There was an article that came out that we mentioned in our chats with the rest of the GK boys. There was an article that came out. I can't find it right now, but it said that to someone who saw an early review or early screening of the film said you have, like, in the headline, you have to turn your brain off to enjoy Borderlands.
The CEO of Gearbox said that.
He said, "Oh, that was a CEO who said that."
Yeah. Or the
Oh
president,
my goodness.
or whatever.
Okay, I did not know that. I just saw it. I scrolled away because I didn't want to spoil myself.
He said, don't go make too quick of an assumption based off of somebody's reviews. Sometimes you need to just go turn your brain off, sit down with a bucket of popcorn, and watch the movie.
And I honestly, he's so right and so wrong at the same time. Like, he's right because I did have to turn my brain off to get any sense of enjoyment. If I just ignored everything I know about these characters, everything I knew about the Borderlands world, and just and everything I knew about it being rated M for mature as a video game. If I just ignored every single thing that made Borderlands, and I just completely just like removed the Borderlands game IP from this film and just like consider it as his own film and watched it like that, you could probably find some enjoyment. But knowing all this other information, this movie's dog shit. Shout out to Larry.
Yeah.
Dog shit.
And now, one thing I want to say too is, like, you were saying that this movie was quick. An hour and 40 minutes is not quick by any means.
It's not quick. It's quicker than some of the movies that we've been seeing.
I will be honest. I think it's because I was in the theater versus watching Rebel Moon at home. But being in the theater made me look at my watch, and I was like, fuck, I was looking at my phone, dude. 30 minutes.
I was looking at my phone.
Yeah. I was like, I've only been here for 30 minutes. I feel like I've been here for like an hour at the very least already. That's how
by a little bit
dragged out this movie.
Yeah. I think this movie could have been, you know what? When I was watching it, I thought some of the scenes, I was like, a YouTuber could have done this and better. You know what I mean? It felt like a YouTube fan made like film with like some cameos. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those fan made movies.
Ooh, a fan made thing of Batman Beyond just came out, and it actually looks really cool.
Oh.
Here, I'm gonna read Ernell's write-in for us here real quick.
Yeah, because let's go straight into the reviews. Yeah, read his write-in.
Yeah. Ernell's write-in review for Borderlands. He says, "Let me start off by saying that I've only played a very limited amount of each of the Borderlands games, but have never ran credits on any of them. So there's not a whole lot that I know about the Borderlands story or universe. With that said, this movie is nearly 2 hours long, and I still know jack shit about the Borderlands story and universe. There really isn't a lot to say here, to be quite frank. This movie is a big, fat, stinky pile of dog shit that spends an hour and 40 minutes pretty much insulting the audience's intelligence. Jesus. The visual effects have few moments that justify the budget, but a massive majority of them look comparable to chase scenes in the original Star Wars trilogy on modern-day set pictures."
Pieces.
He said that when we were there. Pieces. He said that when we were in the movie. But the bigger atrocity here is that the story is just so mind-bendingly boring and does nothing to serve the Borderlands franchise or its fans, let alone general audiences. Not to mention, too, the game's main selling point is looting for heaps and mountains of guns, and we maybe see 3 of them in the entire movie. It's quite obvious the execs and producers had no fucking clue what the game was even about themselves. We have 2 Academy Award winners in this movie, and not a single actor gave a middling performance. I'm not even convinced any of them wanted to be there. It goes without saying, I was just one more awful narration line from Kate Blanchett from honestly asking Devin if we could get away with walking out of this one.
Jesus.
I'm not surprised two writers wanted nothing to do with this dumpster fire that was begging to be a Guardians of a Galaxy ripoff so bad that even more disappointingly, I found myself wondering, was this movie worse than Madam Web and Rebel Moon? Unfortunately, the visceral reaction I'm still having to do this film speaks louder than I'll ever be able to justify for myself, and I'd be a fool to just not say it. This movie is absolutely worse than Rebel Moon, who at least had decent CGI.
Damn.
Borderlands is going to be a 2 out of 10 from me. See, I'm on the same page. I didn't even read it yet. Him and I are on the same page.
I personally think Rebel Moon still offends me a lot more. Just because it's Zack Snyder. Fuck him. I agree. Yeah, I agree with most of what he said. Yeah. So, Devin, let's get to your score review. Review score. Should people see this movie, and what would you rate it?
Do not fucking watch this movie. Don't stare at the poster. Don't give it any part of your attention span. If you watch even 30 minutes of this movie, your brain will decrease in size and you will lose oxygen and years off of your life. Okay? This movie is a detriment to your health. This movie gets a 1 out of 10 for me.
Wow, 1 out of 10. Jesus. And that leaves me, don't go see this film, please. I'm looking dead at the camera, okay? And I'm speaking to you if you're listening to this on any of our podcast platforms. Please do not go see this film. Not even on $5 movie night. I don't care. Watch anything else. This is just an affront. This is offensive to video game players and moviegoers alike, because it doesn't stick to the source material. The action choreography is terrible. The editing has so many cuts in it. It just feels like I'm playing Fruit Ninja. I don't know what to say, but it just sucks. This movie sucks. And I'm gonna give it, since I think it's just a smidgen better than Rebel Moon, I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 10.
That puts us at like what, a 2 overall?
Yeah, basically 2 overall.
Yeah.
So that is our review. Don't go see it. GK rates Borderlands movie a 2 out of 10. So that is just a never see. Even if you stumble upon like a free copy, just get rid of it. I don't care. Get rid of it. Don't go see the movie.
Don't even watch it on
Streaming services
like Netflix, Peacock, wherever the fuck it ends up. Don't even watch it,
dude. Please.
give
I
them
wish
any
it ended
money.
up on Tubi. That'd be fucking fun.
Dude, it's probably gonna go on Crackle.
Oh God. Oh God.
Like, this is a Crackle quality ass fucking movie.
Jesus, dude. I hope it ends up for free on YouTube. Oh,
it probably will.
Free with ads on YouTube for sure. For sure. This is a free with ads ass movie. But hopefully you'll be free tonight, because this has been 20,000 Films Under the Sea, your choice for all nerdy pop media news, reviews, and discussions you wanted each and every week. If you like what you heard, you can head on over to our Discord channel, where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on a podcast and video service near you. But if you empty your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that's cool with us. You can watch us record this show live right here at twitch.tv/GoodKrakenShow. You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, hitting subscribe, or by leaving a review on our podcast channel by searching 20,000 Films Under the Sea, and we'll be there waiting for you. But until next time, it's dog shit.
It's fucking dog shit.
It's fucking dog shit. Hashtag Borderlands is dog shit.
It's dog shit. It's literally white dog shit from the movie Step Brothers. It's dog shit.
Oh.